So dudes, in this video, I'm going to be talking about what makes maps popular or not so popular in Rainbow Six Siege. I linked to a straw poll via my Twitter account. A lot of the results surprised me. A lot of the results did not surprise me. Before I do that, I want to thank Ubisoft for sponsoring this video and talk to you about the new containment mode and the free weekend for Rainbow Six Siege. There's a new alien zombie mode called Nest Destruction. Attackers try to destroy these little Zerg creep tumors across the map, and the aliens try to defend them. 2 points on the map have to be destroyed by the attackers that spawn anywhere on the map. Then, they have to destroy one in the center in order to win the round. Defenders have a crap ton of health and can run around really fast and can Oryx dash into people, but they have to melee them to take out their prey. It's a grand old alien zombie shooting time. You can get some content inspired by the upcoming game Rainbow Six Extraction. Between August 17th and August 24th, complete some challenges to get the Nomad Hive mindset. There's also a bunch of headgears, uniforms, and weapon skins that you can purchase in the in-game shop. You can get all of these skins for 1,680 R6 credits, or via the packs independently for 300 R6 credits, or 12,500 renown apiece. Siege is also undergoing a free weekend from August 13th to the 15th. Anyone who joins will get double Battle Pass points during this period. Plus, during the free weekend, Rainbow Six Siege is on sale for 67% off. Check out the link in the description if you want to learn more about the Battle Pass. And once again, thanks to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. The poll has had 225 participants so far, and I put it up late last night on the 5th of August. Clubhouse, at least among viewers of the Gregor gaming experience, is the favorite, followed by Oregon and Chalet. The rest of the pie chart is comprised of coastline, cafe, villa, bank, border, canal, consulate, skyscraper, and theme park in that order. Theme park only has 1 vote. What makes a map popular in Rainbow Six Siege? Well, I think in Rainbow Six Siege Ranked, I think what makes a map popular is an overall sense of fairness in terms of what the defenders are capable of doing and what the attackers are capable of doing. What do I mean by this? Well, Clubhouse incorporates a lot of what I think people like about Oregon, but it's a lot less linear, and I don't think a lot of people really like linear maps. In Ranked, I think in competitive, obviously the goal is to win, and Oregon, the meta for that map has more or less been figured out. There's not really a lot more to unpack there. It's kind of the reason why it got reworked in the first place. It was the same reason that Border got reworked. That map as a puzzle was inherently pretty much solved. Whereas with Clubhouse, you get a lot of the balance and enjoyment of a well-balanced map in Rainbow Six Siege, like Oregon, but there's a little bit more to it than just go down this lane, blow up this wall, get the stuff off this wall, keep people from holding this wall. In a way, those maps become a lot more utility dependent. They become this game of utility. Clubhouse emphasizes good utility usage, but it also emphasizes good gunfighting. There are lots of different ways to hold different sites on Clubhouse. There are default rotates and reinforcements, but Gym Bedroom comes to my mind in particular because there's a lot of different ways that you can hold Gym Bedroom. You can do a more isolated hold all the way in cache by reinforcing the top red walls and the CCTV walls. Or you can open all of that up and then play a little bit more off of the site in conjunction with your teammates at the B and A bomb sites. Oregon is a relatively simpler map to learn, and as a result, people like to default to stuff that they know in Ranked. And that's pretty much all there is to it to that map. Chalet is a pretty good example of a good rework too. And I think Chalet has become a lot more popular as a result of competitive play. It's gotten a lot of mileage ever since the Invitational. It's been on a lot of people's radars in terms of people wanting to solve it and figure out what makes it work. It's very commonly played in the NAL. It's very commonly played in the EUL as well. Chalet, just by its very nature, also invites a lot of different pocket picks, a lot of different operators that you normally wouldn't see on more linear maps like Oregon. You get to see a lot more Frostplay, for instance, because of the windows. Chalet is a very window-dependent map on the top floor, especially because a lot of those entrances are via windows, vault prompts. And Frost has kind of cemented herself as a very good, not even a sleeper pick, just a very decent pick to bring whenever you're holding top floor on Chalet. I also see a little bit less Jaeger play, not a lot less, because Jaeger's still very popular, but just a little bit less. And Naruni often gets brought as the grenade denial operator in some more specific strategies by pro teams. You get to see a lot more zero play on Chalet as well, because there's a lot of floors where he can shoot his cameras through and get some interesting angles with his cameras. So right now, it seems like you've got 3 pretty popular Siege maps, and the rest is a mixed bag. Coastline is a fragger map. I think fraggers like Coastline for obvious reasons. Cafe is very linear and to a point more or less solved in the same way that I mentioned with my border example earlier. That's not to say that it's a bad map, but I think people have just gotten kind of bored of it in ranked. Villa isn't necessarily a bad map. It's just very defender-sided, and I don't think people like attacking first on Villa, especially in ranks with the way the rounds work. Starting out on attack on Villa when you have less rounds to play out as compared to a competitive game can be a little bit of a pain. Bank is just not very popular at all right now because it's too dang open. There's a million different windows that you can get shot from when you're inside. Border got reworked, yeah, but it's still very much like the original Border, and I think people were already bored of Border. Canal is a very linear map that's also very run-out heavy, and if you don't ban Valk, you're pretty much throwing. It's kind of a cheese map. And Consulate is not only a map that invites a lot of frustration for players. For new players, I think it's the most difficult ranked map to learn. I think that if you're trying to teach somebody a lot of Siege fundamentals, then Consulate is probably a good map to put somebody in, to basically put them out of their comfort zone, because there's so much about the map that is just really, it's huge information overload. There's a lot to unpack on Consulate. For one, Consulate is one of the most window-dependent maps in the game, right? And fighting on windows is a whole different ballgame of gunfighting. When you're learning gunfighting in Siege, you have to learn the technique involved in quick peeking properly. You need to know when to swing, when to hold a passive angle, pixel angles, when to swing off of your pixel angle. Here's some stuff you can do with punch holes, right? Siege's gunplay is very unique to Siege, and there are a lot of different techniques and aspects about it that you have to learn in order to get an advantage. Then you throw window fighting, and then it becomes a whole different ballgame. The whole game of like, okay, you upside down rappel, and then you peek with your head, and you make sure you have to peek with your head, because if you don't peek with your head, then you're going to expose your body, and then you shoot your bullets out of your head, because that's how first-person shooters work in 2021, and people can do the weird thing where they can rotate and then kind of like peek their head around the top corner of the window and then up and around. Like, that's a lot to unpack for a new player. So you have to learn how to fight on windows and fight people on windows. Then when you're done doing that, you have to understand why the windows are important, because a lot of the windows on attack are very important for establishing crossfires so that your diffuser planner can actually plan. Consulate also has a lot of vertical destruction, and C4s are very prevalent, especially if you're trying to attack Garage. You want to clear the utility on Garage, usually from above, in order to open up the main wall. And then you got to make sure that you don't get C4'd. You have to account for a lot of roaming. Roamers can roam very quickly on Consulate because the map has so many staircases. It's very easy to traverse the entirety of all the map's floors because of the staircase access. So yeah, Consulate already has a learning curve of a brick wall, and most people who even know Consulate don't want to freaking play it in ranked because it's a chore. It's just a pain in the butt. And then you get to Skyscraper, and I'll be honest here, I think people are just hating. Skyscraper's a good map. I like the new one a lot. I don't know why people don't want to play it. And that one guy who voted Theme Park, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. A lot of people are of the opinion that Theme Park is just not a fun map. I don't necessarily dislike Theme Park. It's just that if I have the option for other maps to play, then I'm probably not going to play Theme Park, right? I want to play Club, I want to play Oregon, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Theme Park has a lot of different soft walls that you can open up, and it becomes just a gigantic pain in the butt for attacking. Especially if you don't ban a Mira, then just kind of forget about it. It's a map that requires a lot of team coordination to play effectively, and this is ranked we're talking about, so. I'm aware that I didn't ask about Favela in this map pool because I don't think a lot of people have played Favela enough to the point where they are comfortable giving a yes or no statement on it quite yet. I just think that adding any map into ranked invites a little bit more deliberate play, and that's always going to be an interesting thought experiment, even if Favela is a quote-unquote bad map. I personally don't really care if they have a couple of quote-unquote bad maps in ranked, because I can just ban them if I don't want to play them. I've always wondered if Rainbow Six Siege was ever going to add a system similar to CSGO where you could queue up for individual maps. That's something that I really, really like about CSGO's matchmaking, is that, yeah, me and my friends can meme on Office, which is a map that not a lot of people like, but me and my friends personally like it because it's a fun cheese map to camp with shotguns on just for the hell of it. And that way, it doesn't end up getting stuck in the map pool where it's a choice between us and a bunch of people who definitely don't want to play this meme map, right? It's okay to have a couple meme maps. But I also understand that it would screw with the queue times, and I don't think Siege is getting the traffic where they can pull that kind of thing off. It's not getting like League of Legends traffic. It's just going to splinter the community more than anything. What I do think would be a healthy middle ground between both of those systems, what Siege has and what CSGO has, is some kind of alternative playlist where it's just competitive maps. It's just maps that have been approved by the ESL pool, right? Whoever judges whether or not a Rainbow Six Siege map is good enough to be a competitive map to play for prize money on. I don't know. I think that'd be a good poll option. I'll post something in the YouTube community section asking you guys if you would like to play a playlist where it's just comp maps with ranked rules or some kind of variation of ranked rules. Let me know yes or no when that poll comes out. Those are my general thoughts on the poll results that I took over Twitter, and I just thought they were interesting. And they're going to help me decide which maps I'm going to cover for my map how-tos whenever those come out. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Thanks again to Ubisoft for sponsoring the video. Remember, if you want to get your buddy into Rainbow Six Siege during the free weekend, it's from the 13th to the 15th, and the game is 67% off. And I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.